7 out of 10. Solid movie, nothing better than Advent Children. Alright, so like before the movie started, it was the three of us, it was my mother, my brother, and I. We were all going to movies, right? And my mom just like dipped. She said, screw you virgins, I'm gonna watch Palms. So we finally get into the theater, right? Of course, sans mom. But there's like 80,000 gajillion billion people. So the movie starts with Tim and another kid try to get a Cubone. They don't actually catch the Cubone. This is important later. Tim gets a call his dad is dead and has to go to Rhyme City. Also, Rhyme City is a place where they keep Pokemon, like, outside of a ball, which is important later. Tim goes to his old father's apartment and he finds a Pikachu there. He opens up this, like, tube that says R on it, and then suddenly Apoms come out of nowhere and start trying to eat him. Pikachu is immune to the thing, which is important later. Okay, so there's also this lady who they meet at the apartment, like, complex, and she's just the love interest, and they put her next to the best character in the movie. So Tim and Pikachu go back to his father's apartment, and they look for clues to why this chemical is a thing. And Pikachu goes into Tim's supposed-to-be room, if he ever moved to Rhyme City, and finds a picture of Tim's mom. And Pikachu's all like, who's this? And Tim's just like, she's dead. Which is why Cubone was important. So they meet from the lady with earlier because she works for BuzzFeed, and they go with her to get epic clues on why this thing is a thing. Turns out she has like 50 vials of this stuff, and she says they all come from the docks. So they go to the docks, and there's like a Mr. Mime, and he's all like, yo, you should go to the Roundhouse. So it turns out the Roundhouse is actually a legal Pokemon fighting ring. It turns out the main guy, who has a Charizard, recognizes the Pikachu that Tim has, and he gets challenged to a 1v1. Except, he's cheating, because Charizard is getting doped up by the purple demon chemical. So then he gets deaded, and he's like, it comes from the doctors. Except no one knows who the doctors are. Then Tim gets abducted by the town's founder, and the town's founder's all like, my son wants to overthrow me. He's created a lab where he can test and make the ultimate Pokemon to take control over the city. And it's just like, oh, okay. So they go to the lab, and they find out that the Pokemon that the founder's son was creating was actually Mewtwo. And then Pikachu talks to Mewtwo, and Mewtwo's all like, you're the one who helped me escape. And then it also turns out that Mewtwo allegedly killed Tim's father. So then Pikachu goes on an angst fest because he thinks he betrayed Tim's dad, and Tim and other lady walk into Rhyme City, and Tim tells the other lady, yo, you should tell the news about this. And then Tim goes into the founder's building, and he's all like, yo, I figured out what your son's doing. Then the founder's all like, oh yes, thank you, my son has been officially stopped. And then Tim takes a minute, or at least 30 seconds, to think things through, and he figured out, wait a minute, Mewtwo can't melt steel beams. And then the founder puts on these AirPods, which activate the AirPods on Mewtwo, which causes the professor's consciousness to now be in Mewtwo to enact his final plan. So this chemical makes Pokemon go feral, and once they're in that feral state, Mewtwo can put essentially the whole body of a human into a Pokemon to like mesh the two together, because the professor claims that this is the next form of human evolution, which is weird. Imagine if he gets stuck in like Lombre. You know how I had mentioned that it was important that none of these Pokemon were in balls, right? Well, that's because the Pokemon needs to be present in order for the transfer to occur, which basically means there is no escape if your Pokemon becomes feral and you get mind-wiped by Mewtwo. That was 11th D chess that I did not expect. Anyways, Pikachu comes back and he starts fighting with Mewtwo on top of Pokefloats, and then my brother during the scene turned to me and said, you see, Alex, this is why Pokefloats was banned in Melee. And I just started dying. Anyways, Tim unplugs the founder's jaw pods, and the day is saved. Yeah! Also, it turns out Pikachu was unaffected by the purple virus because he already had a human soul inside him, which was Tim's dad. It was Pikachu was Tim was 7 out of 10. Happy Mom Day.